everyone! Today we are bringing you a physical activity demonstration from the Michigan Fitness Foundation physical activity program called Connect. And so we are going to demonstrate some ways to be active in a small space, inside or outside, where we can do it safely without any special equipment. And these are also movements that can be modified to fit your age and your skill level. So before we dive in, some things to keep in mind. Number one, this is not an exercise class. It's also not a competition. So the main idea is to have some fun, stay active, healthy, and safe. In this video, we are going to try out circuit training. So circuit training is a method of training, type of training, that involves different strength and cardio movements. Strength movements work your muscles to make them a little stronger, and cardio movements work your heart. And so we'll all be focusing on doing one movement at a time for a short period of time, and we'll move through 6 different movements for our circuit for today. And you all can choose to do that circuit of 6 movements once, twice, 3 times. What works for you? So also some words about safety. We want to make sure that we only move or reach in a way that doesn't hurt. And if something starts to hurt, stop doing that. And also you might want to talk to your doctor before you start a new physical activity routine. Now, before we get into the circuits and talking through the movements that we have planned for our circuit for the day, we want to warm up. So warming up is always important and is a good way to get our body ready to move without getting hurt. So we've picked some different movements to help warm up our bodies that don't require a lot of jumping around in case it doesn't work for you or doesn't work in your space. And we're going to go through a few different ones that will, in your warm-up, if you do each of them for 30 seconds, and then do that twice, you'll have a good about 4-minute warm-up. To warm up, we'll start with just marching in place. So start standing, have a little bit of space around you. We're not going to move. We're just going to bring one knee up, put it down, the other up, put it down, and just get that going. So we're marching in place, and we'll do this for about 30 seconds. So this is our first warm-up activity. I'm going to show it, but we won't do it right now for the whole 30 seconds. Another good warm-up movement is modified jumping jacks. So these are also great if you don't have a lot of space where jumping doesn't work really well in the space that you have or work well for you. So jumping jacks, the arms just go up and down. And in a normal jumping jack, it might be jumping your feet out and together as your arms move, but we're just going to place one foot out, in, the other foot out, and in. We'll do that with the arms. So arms up, foot out, in and down, other one out, in and down. And we're going to just do this for another 30 seconds. If you feel like it, you can also go ahead and shift this up to doing the jumping jack where you actually jump out and in and out and in. Otherwise, certainly feel free to do your modified jumping jacks this way. So that's another nice way to get your body moving and warming up. Another one is to skip in place. So again, we're not going to be moving around. We can still do this in our little space that we have right here. And skipping in place, really just step on one foot, do a little hop, step on the other foot, do a little hop, and get that moving this way, skipping in place. As we're doing this, you can always try to get a little more air in your hop. Let's go out 30 seconds. Just be gentle with your body and taking some of that impact gently as you are landing. So that's a third great movement to warm up. And then the last one I'll share, and we can try together, are thumb kicks. So I'm going to stand again, standing tall, and for 30 seconds, I'm going to do this movement where I will bend my knee a little bit, take one foot, and kind of kick it back towards my backside, while having my other arm up to my shoulder. Step on it, pick the other one up, and move the other arm. So this is almost like if you were to be running, but we're doing it in place, and we're thinking about kicking our heel up behind us. So another good movement to get warming up that you can do in place, right inside. So those were 4 different ways to warm up, where you have your marching in place, your modified jumping jacks, your skipping in place, and those thumb kicks. And if you do each of those for 30 seconds, and then do it all again, another 30 seconds each of them through, you'll have a nice 4-minute warm-up. All right, and once you warmed up for about 4 minutes, you are ready to try out the stations of the circuit. So we're gonna start with some arm movements, and then we will move on to legs and finish with core. And so we'll work through 6 different movements, and we'll have everyone do them for about a minute each. And then again, you can do 1 round of those 6 movements. You can do 2 rounds of all 6. You can do 3 rounds, whatever you have the time and energy for. But remember, any amount of activity is great. So we're going to start with arms. And the first arm movement I will show is arm circles. These are basically just what they sound like. So I'm going to find a place where I have enough space to put my arms out and move them around. Good, right here. So I'm going to do these standing with my feet on the ground. They're kind of in line with my shoulder, so they're not super close or very far apart. I'm going to stand here and put my arms out to the side. And as I do this, I'm going to try to keep my shoulders from getting all hunched up, but just kind of keep everything in line, straight out. And what I'm going to do is circle my arm, just like it sounds. So I'm going to do little circles. I'm doing my circles first, forward. You always start joining them backwards. You can do forward ones for 30 seconds, and then flip it to do them backwards for another 30 seconds, and that'll get you your minute of arm circles. You can always make them faster or slower. You can make them bigger or really little. So it's great to keep these controlled, to really with your arms, and to keep the to avoid injury, as opposed to being like really loose and kind of all moving all around. But keep it controlled and do those arm circles. And then when you're done, you can just lower your arms down and then let them rest for a minute before moving on to the next thing. So circuit movement, or station number 1, arm circles. The next one we're going to do one more focusing on our arms, and we're actually going to do some push-ups against the wall. So you want to find a space where you've got a wall, you've got some clear space, and you're going to start by standing a bit further away from the wall than you can touch. And again, I've got my feet kind of in line with my shoulders on the floor. And you have your arms out. We'll lean forward just a little bit to get my hands and palms against the wall. I have them in line with my shoulders, so they're not really high up or far down, but they're in line. And then we're gonna, again, just like what it sounds, we're gonna keep pushing up against the wall. So I'm going to lower, I'm going towards the wall and push back. And breathing is always good, so you can always breathe in as you go down, hold it for a second, and then breathe out, push back up. And these arm wall push-up. Now you can always also modify this to do them against a counter or a table or a desk. I've got a nice sturdy desk here. You might need to start with your feet a little bit further away. Put your palms on the surface. And then you just bend towards, and then push away. And I want to keep this movement, this bending focus in my arms and not in the rest of my body. So I'm gonna try not to be too bent at my waist or swaying from my back, but keep my body in a straight line. Whether it's against the wall or into the left, and do my push-up, keeping things pretty straight. So you can do your wall push-ups or desk push-ups for a minute. That's another great way to be working your arms. So the next thing we're going to move on to is some activity to work on working our legs. And so I am going to show a wall sit. So again, I've got my clear space against the wall. This time, I'm going to be starting my back towards the wall. We're going to sit back into it. So I'm going to start pretty close. And again, my feet are, like the others, kind of on the floor in line with my shoulders. So we're not really far apart, no, not very close together, but kind of in line with my shoulders. I'm gonna stand and lean my weight back into the wall, and then I'm gonna slowly work my way down so that I'm in more of a sitting position, and I'm pushing my weight back into the wall, holding myself here. So when I do this, I want to get to a point when I get to where I'm going to stay, make sure that I have my ankles right below my knees, so that again, things are kind of in line. And I'm going to just hold it here for a minute. You start to really feel it in your legs here. You can do this where your legs are pretty well parallel to the floor. It's a lot more intense, so you can feel free to start a little higher and hold. And if you get tired partway through that minute, just slowly work yourself back up to standing. Take a rest, and then always get back into that position and hold it for however much time you have left in that minute. I'm also not really pressing my arms into my legs. I want to stay my back against the wall and let my legs work. So once you get here, you're just holding it for a minute. When you're done, you come back up, and that is the first of our leg movements. And now I'm going to toss it over to Jocelyn, and she's going to share a few more activities in our circuit, and then also talk about cooling down. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Hi everyone, I'm Jocelyn. I'm going to be taking you through the next 3 stations of our circuit training. We're still going to be working on some legs just down here on the ground. We're going to do bicycle legs. For bicycle legs, you're going to want to lie flat on your back with your legs raised and your arms tight up against your body, palms down. Again, you want to make sure that back is nice and flat and your tummy is engaged. So that means that your tummy's nice and tight. We're just going to be pretending like we're riding a bike. So you're going to bring one knee into your chest, and then alternate to the other knee, just moving back and forth, just like you would if you were riding a bike. You want to make sure that the motion is nice and fluid while keeping your back flat, your stomach engaged, stomach nice and tight, but also relaxing your neck and your shoulders. You want to keep doing that for about a minute. If you're feeling like it's controlled motion for you, you can always speed it up or slow it way down. You may find that slowing it way down is actually harder. Okay, yeah, so again, 1 minute on that one. Next is reverse crunch. We're still working our core. You're going to be flat on your back again. Make sure that back is nice and flat to the ground, not arched at all. Keep your tummy nice and tight. You're gonna have your arms in the same spot there next to your body, palms down. Bring your knees up, 90-degree angle, just like this. And the motion is that you're gonna be bringing your knees towards your chest by lifting up your hips, kind of a rolling motion. You wanna again keep it nice and controlled, flat back, tight belly. Exhale as you bring your knees in, inhale as you bring your knees out. So here we go, let's give it a try. Exhale, inhale. You want to make sure you're keeping those knees at a 90-degree angle the whole time as best you can. Keep your tummy tight and your back flat against the ground. You'll do that for a minute. Last, we're going to keep working on our core, but we're going to sit upright this time. This move is called the seated leg lift. So sit on the floor, legs extended straight out in front of you. You're going to engage that core again. So again, get that belly nice and tight. Lean back just slightly, keeping your back as flat as you can, as straight as you can. Put your arms, your hands right next to your glutes. That's your bum. You're going to take a deep breath, lift one leg off the ground, about 6 inches, and hold it there for 5 seconds. Again, keeping that stomach tight and engaged, keeping your back as straight or flat as you can, and then lower it down. You're going to do the same on the other side. Hold it about 6 inches up, 4 or 5 seconds. Now, if you need to take a quick rest before the minute's up, go ahead and do that, and then just continue doing more leg lifts. To make the exercise easier, you can lift your legs without stopping. To make it harder, you can actually lift up your leg and then bring your knee into your body, extend it back out again, and lower. And do that on both sides. Very controlled motion, tight belly, flat back as best you can. 1 minute for that one. Okay, so now that you've seen how to do all 6 stations, it's your turn to give them a try. Let's recap what all the stations were. For arms, you did arm circles and wall push-ups. Then we moved on to legs. For that, you did the wall sit and bicycle legs. And finally, for our core, we had the reverse crunch and the seated leg lift. Again, you're going to want to do each station for about 1 minute. I would suggest starting with maybe 1 round of all the stations, and then as you get more comfortable with them, you can work your way up to doing 2 or 3 rounds. Just be mindful that you don't overextend yourself and cause pain or injury. This is supposed to be fun after all. To finish up the demonstration, we're going to do a cool down. Cool downs are important because it allows us to slow our bodies down and get our heart rates and our breathing back to normal. The first thing that we're going to do is reach one arm upward overhead, reaching towards the ceiling, getting a good nice stretch in the side of your body. You're going to hold that stretch, stretch, stretch for about 15 to 30 seconds. Then switch sides and do the same thing over here. Ooh, get a good nice stretch in, 15 to 30 seconds. Then we're going to stretch our hamstring. That's the muscle that runs along the back side of your thigh. We're going to bend at the waist, reaching down to touch our toes as best we can. Dig that heel in on one side and lift up the toes. Hold it for 15 to 30 seconds, and then switch, doing the same thing on the other side. Let's give it a try. Okay, ready? Bend down towards your toes at the waist. Dig in one heel and lift up the toes on one side. Hold that for 15 to 30 seconds, and then do the same thing on the other side. Dig in those heels. Ooh, get a good nice stretch happening in the back of your leg. We hope that you have enjoyed our RecConnect circuit training demonstration. We have really enjoyed spending some time with you. Stay active, safe, and healthy. Bye-bye.